life.
Okay. Okay, and then to start our chat, oh, well, I can't type into the chat because if I hit the space key, it switches.
Right. Okay.
And will it tell me when people have entered?
You're on, so I know.
We are just trying to get the kinks fixed, worked out here. We're still learning this, or I'm still learning this anyway. We have tons of great jewelry tonight, all things that I've made. So we're just waiting for. I see Peggy is here. Hi, Peggy. We're just waiting for people to show up, but we've got fun stuff. Look at these I made tonight. I just made these, and they are really fun. I don't have pierced ears, so I can't wear earrings, but look, they're pretty neat. I'll show them to you. We've got a close-up here, too, so that you can see. Let's see. So here's a close-up of those. They're carnelians. And this is more like a sardonyx down here, but these are carnelians, and they're faceted. I forget what you call the name of that bead. Hi, Johnny. Oh, I'm so glad you came. When I was sending out this email, I was thinking, oh, people like Johnny will be able to come because she's not on Facebook anymore. Anyway, these were some really fun earrings that I made today. I love them. They're like little horseshoes right here. And they're hand hammered copper. And I started them last night. I made them today. And sterling silver ear wires. And then all the rest is copper with carnelian. And this is more of a sardonyx, like a banded carnelian. But they move. Here, I'm going to switch views again. They have a lot of movement, right? Let me take them off. I think that's, fun in an earring when they move. The more they move, kind of the more fun they are. So there they are. This is item J33, and they're $40. Those aren't little sterling silver ear wires. I don't make the ear wires. I could, but I just feel like these are better. And they're a good size. Some ear wires are they're kind of small, and they don't, they're not comfortable because they kind of pinch your earlobe because the hook part is so small. But these are nice and big, but not so big that they're going to fall out. Somewhere I have some of the little plastic things that you put on the back, so if you need those, you can tell me. But we have jewelry tonight. I have crystals, and in fact, I have some of the crystals that we had the other night. Here's another fun pair. These are big ones, again, and they're moss agate. I don't know. Maybe we need to move the light around a little bit. I feel like they're not getting good light. That's better, a little better. But these are J34, also $40, and I'm going to put them over here under the. I got to get used to this. It's like it moves the opposite way that you would expect it. But They have moss agate, these moss agate cabochons, and then this is hand hammered copper. So with this copper, I just have a sheet of copper, and I cut everything out and I sand it down, file it and sand it. So if you just got here, make sure you say hi so we can kind of see how many people we've got. It looks to me like right now we've got 3, but I could be wrong. Anyway, this is J34, and they are 40 for the pair. Let's see, what else? Do we have some smaller ones over there? Here, let me have the card. I meant smaller earrings. Oh, okay, okay. So the next thing I have these fun little stars. I think I've got 5 of these. And they're labradorite stars, and they are wrapped in sterling silver. They're $23. I have 5 of these, and they've got a little bail on them right here, so you can run your cord or your chain through there. Those are small bails. If you want it on something bigger, I can put a bigger bail on there for you. I have a couple styles of bails. I have an S-hook style bail that I just make, that I make by hand. So I have 5 of these. So if you want one of those, you can just say, hi, Barbara. You can just say, labradorite star or star pendant. So I've got 5 of those, and they're really cute. I really like these because the wire makes a star too. So they were fun. I could have whipped out another dozen of these today. Oh, let's see. What's next? Okay, let's do this one. This is J4. And it is a rose quartz. It's actually a girasol. It's a girasol quartz. And those are some internal fractures. There's a little rainbow in that one. But you can see it's kind of pink because it's a pink girasol. And that's an internal fracture that makes that little rainbow. Anyway, that one's J4, and it is 25. And maybe I'll ask Taylor if she can write 25 on there because I didn't put it on. Okay, here's some cute little earrings. This is item J38, and they're 15, and those are gold-filled wires. The ear wires are gold-filled. And it's been a while since I bought those head pins, so they may be gold-filled too, because I've been doing this stuff for a really long time, and I bought a lot of stuff before gold went through the roof. Anyway, this is red tiger's eye. Very grounding and protective stone. Also very good for insight.
J4 sold.
J4 for Peggy. Thank you, Peggy. So this one's J38. And so they're kind of dangly here. Let me show you those. Again, I don't have pierced ears, so I'm not actually putting these in my ear, but I'm trying to get some light. Let's see. That's not working too well, is it? You get the picture, right? I'd say they're about 1.25 inches long. So dangly. You know, they move. Earrings should, you know, if they're dangly, earrings should have some movement to them. Um, and I think that's why I really like those first ones so much. Okay, this is another pair of tiger's eye. This is golden tiger's eye. And this is J44. And they're $30 because those gold ear wires are crazy expensive. Let me kind of put those back there again because I feel like the iPhone is getting way better, giving a way better quality light than my computer. So J44. And those were, what did I say, 30. 30. Let's do a couple pendants. I made a series of these. This is item J3, and it is 45. This is a golden sheen obsidian. See if I can get the sheen. There you go. You can see the sheen in there. Isn't that cool? And my intention was that it would look like a mask or maybe a bird. Some of them came out looking a little bit like an owl. So that one is J3. It's golden sheen obsidian, and it's wrapped in copper. And like, I always make sure my backs are, like, sometimes when you see wire wrapped jewelry, the back is just a mess. But I always make sure that the back side is nice and neat. I also file everything down so it doesn't, get caught on sweaters or scarves or, a lacy shirt or anything like that. But golden sheen obsidian, well, obsidian is another very protective stone. And so this is good. Like if you're going into an environment where you feel like you need to ward off some negativity, here you go. And it's highly reflective, and it's got that shimmer in it. There's a lot that you could say about this stone, but yeah, Taylor's talking about she wears it to work. And I know that, sometimes you go into a place and you need to just feel like you got a little extra something taking care of you. This is really good for that. So Peggy J4, is that the one that Peggy got? That's okay. We already got that one. I just want to make sure I didn't miss one. So that's J3. Here's J2. This is another. Okay, yeah. These next two are also obsidian. Now this one I bought as rainbow obsidian, and in certain lights you'll see it shimmer like a green blue color, but I think right now it's picking up the card. So it's wrapped in copper. It's J2. It's 40. I try to keep these as affordable as I can. But you guys know I have kind of a thing for good stones. I remember I can't remember. I bought a sheet of these. They're like glued to a piece of cardstock with, that poster putty kind of stuff. And one of them had a beautiful rainbow in it, and I sold it right away. And then I made pendants out of the other one. So that's J2, it's 40. And then this is J1, and I like this one. It's it's different than a lot of my pieces. Here, let me try to. I like the little copper flower on it, and the swirls are different, and you get to kind of see a lot of the stone. And then here's the back. So you can kind of see, I really do try to take care that the back looks as good as the front. I've been working in the, at my jeweler's bench all day, so I've got black fingernails and they're not pretty. So I'm just going to acknowledge it as it is what it is. So this one's J1, same price, 40. But again, very protective and grounding. And you've got that flower on there, which is, I think, for me, it's a symbol of growth. It's a symbol of, when you need to stand up for yourself or you need to protect yourself, but you don't need to be nasty about it or anything. Something like this is really super grounding. And I feel like it helps you grow your confidence. So I like that. That's why I put the little flower there. J1, 40. And I just want to say that, I'm very intentional about what I'm making. I always want people to feel like they've got something that's meaningful, that's meaningful to them. Okay, this next one, this is a pair of earrings, and it is J45. They're $20. So this that is red pine jasper. The bottom stone is red pine jasper, and the one above it is labradorite. And these are copper. They have copper ear wires, but they're sealed. Let me take that off of there. And they're a good shape. Let's see, how can I? These are ones that are handmade. And I try to make sure that the ear wire is long in the back. It's not going to come out. But here, I'm going to switch views for a minute. They're fun. They're dangly and they move. It's kind of cute when your earring is, it just, I don't know, makes you feel great, makes you feel special. I used to have pierced ears, but I just was so allergic to everything. I finally kind of gave up. Oops. There we are. J45. Those are 20. And they can be casual or they can be kind of dressy. Jasper is another grounding and protective stone. And then labradorite, that's a stone of intuition, psychic development. So when you've got, these kinds of stones that have meaning to you, and you've got one on either side of your head, you're kind of balancing out that energy. So you've got, left brain, right brain stuff going on. J45 for Peggy. And so I'm happy that we got to do this, that we got to figure out how to get the comments on, because that was one of the messages that I got from somebody was like, YouTube is okay, but we can't interact with you. Okay, these are really fun. In the middle, those are some upcycled silver. It's a mother of pearl, abalone actually, in silver that I rescued from some things that were getting thrown away. And then the back is hand hammered copper. And that's some, I spend a lot of, which Sherry is this? I see Sherry L. Um, Hi, Sherry. Thank you. And anyway, so I cut that out, file it, hammer it, texture it, patina it, and then build the rest of the earrings. It's time consuming, but it's really relaxing too. So this is J35. They're $35, and I have little boxes for everything, like these kind of boxes. A little piece of grass in there. I have these boxes that I'll send. Everything will come in a box, unless you don't want multiple boxes. But I find that it's just better to ship them that way. Um, Mother of pearl and abalone. All of our shells are very protective, mother type energy. Motherly love, all that whole thing, mama bear stuff. And also like being a gentle teacher. Oh, Sherry Large. Hello, Sherry. Okay, those are yours, Sherry. Whoops. Okay, let's see. Let's do this one next. This is J8. And this is a dendritic golden healer. It's in copper. This is J8. It's $40. This is tricky doing this. This is J8. It's $40. And it's kind of frilly, but in its, there we are. When you look at it this way, it lays very nice. It looks really nice on. So that one is J8. It's $40. Golden healer, really good stone to wear when you have health concerns of any kind. Physical health, mental health, spiritual health, whatever. If you have some healing that you need to do, no matter what kind, this is a great stone. Golden healer is a great stone for that. And the dendrites, dendrites are a connection to earth and nature, also about inner growth. So, that's, doggone it, I can't keep things under the camera. So that's that one, J8. It's $40. Let's see. I can't reach many of those. Okay. Here's another little labradorite star. This is star number 3. I think I have 5 of these on the table. Is that right? Yeah, I've got 5. And I've got 10 more stars that I could make some more of these, but they're $23. It's sterling silver. You've already heard me complain. I almost said another word. You've heard me complain about the price of silver. It's crazy. It is crazy. But these have a little bail on them, and they're just adorable. They're just adorable. And look at the little, let's see if I can get it focused. You see there's a labradorite star in there. And they have nice flash. And then the wire makes a star around them too. So they were really fun to make. I had a good time making those. We've been binge watching Grey's Anatomy. That's what I was doing last night, is watching Grey's Anatomy, making stuff. How about that poppy jasper right there? Oh, that one, yep. And then that rhodonite right next, yep, that one. Okay, excuse my arm. Okay, this is poppy jasper. And I just think it's a really pretty stone. I love this kind of jasper. Again, jaspers are grounding and protective. It's a root chakra stone, but it has all those little dots that look like petals, right? So if you're passionate about something that you want to grow, this is a really good stone. Um, and you know, you need to make good decisions. You need to keep your feet on the ground, whatever. You need to be grounded for something. Um, and being grounded is great. This one is 25. J12 is 25. I had someone say to me one day, if you're grounded, you can't fly. And I was like, well, that's true. That's true. But some days, you know, some days are good for flying and some days are not, right? So that one's a J12, 25. Can you write the price on that, please?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's its box. Okay, this one, this is the same pattern. The wrap is the same pattern, but it's in sterling silver, and this is an amazing rhodonite. And I believe, well, one of the ones that I bought with this had azurite in it too, but I sold that. So this is J9, it's 50, but it's an amazing stone. It was a spendy little stone. And then of course our silver. And it's got some pyrite in there. Do you see that? There it is. Yep, that's so the last thing I did this evening before we started the show was patina my last batch of jewelry that I made. And it makes you get pretty dirty. That one's J9. It's 50. It's a gorgeous stone and it's sterling. Okay, let's do a few pair of earrings. Okay, J14. These are 20 bucks. And those are carnelian, sterling silver ear wires. And then this is called Bali silver down here. Let me lay those down and get a little better in focus for you. Bali silver on the bottom. Bali silver is not sterling silver. It has a number of metals in it. It's got sterling silver, it's got nickel, it's got copper and brass, but it's referred to as Bali silver. So that's J14, and they are $20. And carnelian is a sacral chakra stone. So all of your creative energy, whatever kind of creative energy that might be, that's your sacral chakra. They're also used in some cultures as a blessing stone. I have a set of African trade beads, and the person I bought them from explained to me that, you know, women wear carnelian to their weddings for good luck, protection, and a blessing. So carnelian has that kind of come hither energy. But also, you know, if you're a creative person and you've had kind of a lull, writer's block, anything like that, carnelian is a really good stone for whatever kind of creative energy you have. So this is J14, and they are 20. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to give them to you so I don't do them twice. Okay. These are some of my favorites. I made these. The stone, the stone right here is fossilized palm root. Whoops. Fossilized palm root. I used a black wire for these, or did I? Yeah, this is a copper ear wire, but they're coated. Um, and then this is hand hammered copper. Eddie, #1, Arizona. Well, hello there, Eddie. Um, yeah, so these, I cut these with a disc cutter and then, used a texture hammer and whatever else, sometimes nails, sometimes whatever I have. And I just, let me tell you, it is a great way to get out some aggression. If you're having a bad day, get yourself some copper and a hammer and go to town. um, it is, and plus it's just rewarding to come out with something at the end. So these are nice and dangly. I'd say from the bottom of this ear wire down to here is about an inch and 3/4. This disc is just about the size of a quarter, a little bit smaller than a quarter. That's J15. This pair is 45. And let me tell you about this stone. I buy a lot of my cabochons from a guy named Yazid, and he makes all of these himself. It's not a spot where they turn out tons and tons of cabochons, and he goes out, he finds the stones. He lives in Indonesia. He finds the stones. He has videos of him cutting the stones and polishing them. And I really like to support artists all over the world. Our crystal skulls, same with our crystal skulls. It's the same with these. I buy most of my cabochons from the same guy. I have a young woman that I've bought a few from, and she's kind of learning, I think, because sometimes they're a little bit thin. So, whatever. She's learning, and I still want to support that too. But I try to use the best quality ones for things like this. So that pair is 45, and whoops, there we go. But yeah, I've been busy this week. I'll get the hang of this 2-camera business here. So that's J15. Okay. I'll give you those. All right, this is same price, same idea, but this is an agate. These are agates, and again, hand hammered copper. I don't know. I cut out a bunch of these triangle shapes one day. They kind of looked like corn chips. They were really big. They were so big, I ended up cutting them in half, and they were still pretty big. But let me, let's see. There we are. If you're kind of boho, let's see. I'm turning the wrong way. The light's on my arm, not on my face. Anyway, they're about that long. And I think that, there we go. They're fun. If you're getting dressed up and you want a statement piece, those are pretty good. I don't know why I have such a hard time with that. But I do. Okay, so that's J16. They're 45. Those stones were a little more expensive than a lot of the ones that I have. So, and that's a yellow agate. This one I would consider more of a solar plexus stone. Oh, it's Jackie. Jackie. um, yeah, this is a solar plexus stone. So, anytime you're working on things like abundance, you're trying to draw in some type of wealth or asset, or you need a little more confidence, self confidence, courage, this is a good choice. This is a really good choice. J16, they are 45. Taylor's here helping me tonight, so that's fun. It's always more fun with another person. Let's see, I'm going to grab a couple of these and get them over here. All right, this one, I really liked these stones. So this is another stone. This is one that Yazid cut. And, well, Indonesia has some really cool stones. They really do. And I really enjoy watching his videos of where he goes walking like along a riverbank or on the beach, and he finds rocks and takes them home and cuts them in half to see what's inside. And so I bought a bunch of this. This is petersite in purple chalcedony. And how often do you even see purple chalcedony, right? It's kind of an unusual stone. So those are a little more on the higher end side. I don't think I have many things on the table that are over $50. One or two, maybe. But that one's wrapped in copper. It's J13. This is a really great stone for meditation. In fact, I've got a pair of earrings that I just finished with for someone. And they're the same stone, but a teardrop shape. And I was a little bit afraid that they were going to be too heavy to wear as earrings. And she said, I'm only going to wear them for meditation, because she liked to have petersite for meditation. It's a really good stone for that. And purple, any purple stone, really great crown chakra stone. So that one is J13. It's $50. And you guys, I do have everything out. Oh, look, here are the ones these are the ones I'm talking about. So I wrapped those in sterling. And that's what they're, she's going to wear them for meditation. But it took me a while. I could not figure out a good wrap for these that wouldn't make them even heavier than I thought they were already going to be. So I came up with that. And it worked out pretty good. Okay. I have out all my crystals still from the sale the other day. So if there's anything you wanted to see, I've got it. I had all those little sodalite hearts out. And I wrapped this one in copper. It's 25. The stones were 15. So, I just wrapped this one up today. And I thought these are from the young woman that I was talking about, she's just kind of getting started. And I made an order from her, and she sent me a whole bunch of extra little things so that, I would order from her again. It was really sweet. Sometimes there's a communication barrier. And that's really the case with this young lady. But she was so sweet, and she did a good job. Her stones are, they're really nice. Just I thought some of them were a little bit on the thin side, but this one is a really good thickness. It's nice and thick. There's the back. You know, I like the back to be nice and neat. Um, anyway, Sodalite. Sodalite's all about speaking truth with wisdom, fellowship and unity. Which light is shining on there? And this was, I thought, a special one. This is J37. It's $25. And this is what I was talking about, an S hook for the bail. So I just make those. You see, it's one piece of wire, and you fold it in half, and then you make an S out of it. Jackie, I think you made one of these in one of my classes. The S hook, not the heart thing. I would not tackle this pattern in a class because it wasn't easy for me. So, J37, $25. And if there was anything you wanted to see from my show the other night, from the crystal show, I've still got all that out. Okay, you may have seen this one before. I don't know. This is Larimer. So that's another one of our high-end stones. And it's set in sterling. Hello, Pam. It's set in sterling silver. This one is $70. I think this is the most expensive piece I have on the table tonight. Boy, I just watched a guy. There's a guy I follow on Instagram. His handle is From the Mines. His company is called From the Mines. And I've bought stones from him. I have a couple friends who've bought stones from him. And he was going on about how Larimer is not an expensive stone. And I thought, well, gosh, I need to meet your vendor because I sure paid a pretty penny for a few pieces of Larimer in my time. See what happened to my thumbnail today? Look at that. That's from making things like this, because occasionally you have to spread those wires apart with your thumbnail, and that's what happens. But you see what you have to get a little space on there. So you can get, you capture it. See how it's bent on the back? You have to capture the back and give it a place, give the flat side of the stone, a place to lay down. And this is square wire. Lots of people will say to me, oh, I can't do wire wrapping. It's too hard. And usually the problem is that they're using round wire. If you use square, it'll lay down really nice. See down here how they all meet up side by side? And then this wire right here is called half round. So it's flat on the bottom and it's domed on the top. And you put that flat side next to the square wire and you can get everything to lay down just like that, really nice. I liked the little flower in there. This is J7 and it's $70. Okay, you guys, don't be afraid to speak up and tell me what you want to see. Here is a pair. Okay, this is J17 and they are $15. And they are rhodonite and moonstone. Rhodonite, very heart healing, a good stone for, let's say a broken heart or a grieving heart. And then moonstone on the bottom, those are rainbow moonstone. And those are some old stock. I met a guy in Tucson and he had a store for a long time, and this was stuffed back in the back. These were stuffed back in the back since the 1970s. And I bought like 5 hanks of them. He's like, I'll make you a really good deal if you buy all of them. So I was like, deal. Deal. But these are, I don't know, maybe an inch and a half from the top of the top stone down here at the bottom. And again, they have nice movement. I just, to me, that's the important thing about nice earrings is they have a little movement. If they're dangly ones, if they're posts, then you know. Okay, J17, $15. Oh, here's one I just did today. This is another Petersite in purple chalcedony. And I was really happy with this one. There's a little loop at the bottom, and it had been my intention to put a little dangle right there. But I ran out of time, so I thought, well, if someone bought this, they could choose what kind of dangle they wanted. Like an amethyst would be nice with that purple chalcedony. Or tiger's eye with the Petersite. And I have both of those. Guys, I have so many beads. It's obscene. I started beading, it's almost 40 years ago. And I have some of the very first seed beads that I ever bought. I still have a few of them in the box that they came in. Oh, there I go. Messing up the camera. But anyway, $60. This is J36. And it is one of the higher end stones. But again, there's the back. You've got to have a little something for that stone, that flat side of the stone to sit on. And if you're local here, I've been talking to 550 Brewery about maybe doing a couple classes there on a Sunday afternoon. And it may look like a lot close up, but here, let me switch. It's not overly large, I don't think. I think it's a pretty good size for pendant. Yeah. And I do have some chains to go with these. So if you get a copper pendant and you want a chain to go with it, I'll throw that in. The chains that I have are 30 inches long, but I can size them down. Like if you wanted an 18-inch chain, I could cut it down, or you want it 22 inches. If it's 30 inches, it's going to hang down. It's going to hang down right to about here, so kind of long. And that's kind of nice for a bigger pendant, or a pendant that you want to fall right over your heart chakra. So I'll throw those in. In general, like if I'm making a necklace, I usually make it about 18 inches so that it fits a variety of people. 16 to 18 inches is an average size. You're having issues with chat, Barbara? Well, I can see this one. Did you send another one? I just see a hi from you. Yeah, that's all Taylor sees too. She's over there on her phone. Oh, the next one I'm gonna do, I'll show you this one up close too, but this is J11. It's $40. I love this one. It's a square. The stone is square, but it's also, it's got a flat back, but it's pretty thick. It's a dendritic golden healer. Let me get it over here, and I'll switch for you. So you see those little thready pieces, those are dendrites. Dendrites are a symbol of inner growth and a connection to nature. They're also kind of grounding and protective. That the black that you see is usually manganese. The yellow, orange. Well, Barbara, I can see. I just saw that comment about it kept telling you an error. I don't know what that was. Um, and then the hematite, that's what we call golden healer when it's a yellow to orange hematite. That's an iron inclusion. And iron is not just a symbol of strength, but iron is something that your body needs to remain strong. If you don't have iron, you become anemic, you become weak. So that's where this stone gets its name, golden healer, because of the healing properties of iron. So this one is J11. It's $40. Now, in a minute, I'm gonna get some just plain stones out. I'm also gonna show you a few things over again, even though we haven't seen it all. Can you hand me that one right there? Okay, this is a favorite of mine. It's another girasol, pink girasol quartz. And it's wrapped in copper. It's very, very clear. If I lay it down, you might think it was just clear quartz, but it is pink. So this is J46 and it's $30. And I really like this stone a lot. Let me see if I can lay it out there for you. I just think it's so symmetrical that I needed to do this. Right? I needed to put one up high and one down low. I don't know why. Those can actually be moved too. But I don't know. This was the first time. So when I bought this, I bought 7 kilos of cabochons from Brazil. Right when I first started my business. And let me tell you, J46 for Pam. Oh, that's the one I'm holding. Let me tell you that 7 kilos, that's 15 pounds. And that's a lot of cabochons. I don't know. I was new. It was a good price. They were really great quality cabochons, but this came in that batch. And I have some others that I'll show you tonight. This is J46, $30, and it's for Pam. But that's a really great heart chakra stone. This is a cabochon. This is a honey calcite. And this is one that I picked up on a road trip to Texas. Sherry, which one are you talking about? The girasol quartz that was wrapped in copper. I think I said copper, didn't I? Yeah, it's wrapped in copper. So is this one. This is a honey calcite, and it wasn't Marfa, but it was some little town in Texas. And I got this, and I got something else, and an orthoceros, a little orthoceros. But this is a honey calcite. This is another great solar plexus chakra stone. It has a really gentle energy. It's kind of a creamy color. Yeah, J46. Pam got that one, but it is wrapped in copper. It's a really gentle energy. And again, that's about, this is your confidence building, self-esteem, your sense of abundance. It would serve similar purposes to citrine. Now, you could definitely expand on that, and if you really, really want to know the properties of a stone, I suggest that rather looking it up on the internet, you get a copy of Love is in the Earth. The book is out of print, but it's readily available on the internet. It's called Love is in the Earth. It's by Melody. And she wrote those books. They came out in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. I only really ever cared about getting one certification because I learned most of my stuff from traditional healers before the internet. And I admire Melody for the incredible amount of research that she did. So if you want to look up more about honey calcite, or if you want this pendant and you want to know more about it, I can certainly give you more details later. J6, it's $35. Everything comes in a little box. Here's my sticker. Let's see, what's next? Okay, just in case you weren't here at the beginning, this is my new favorite thing that I made today. They're really fun. They're super fun. Hand hammered copper. They have this little bead that moves. Let's see. I'll show you. It moves this way, and these dangle around. There's almost a triqueta there with the jump rings, and they have sterling silver ear wires. This is J33, they're 40, and I love these. They're so cool. If I had pierced ears, but I'm allergic, so I don't, I would be wearing these right now while I talk to you because I'm in love with them. They're really fun. That's J33, 40. Here's another, this is another obsidian. That one is J41. It's $40. It's wrapped in sterling silver. It's $40 because I wrapped this before silver went through the roof. And, $40, that's what it is. J41, again, very grounding and protective. And I think a lot of times if we feel like we need obsidian, that or tourmaline or any of our protective stones, that having it in a pendant is a great thing because it's right there over your heart and throat. I'm just kind of showing you. There's a nice little space right there. It's kind of cool. It's just nice to have it there by your heart and your throat because it helps remind you to watch what you say, especially if you're in a situation where you want to get rid of negativity. Sometimes the negativity is within, sometimes it's without. So you can use these stones. You can use our black stones for going into a situation where some negativity may exist, or you may want to be wearing it because you've got something going on that's negative within yourself. So those are good stones to wear. Is that yeah, that's a rainbow obsidian. So it's got just a very faint green sheen in it. J41, it's 40. Okay, here are some cute little, these are just banded agates. This one's J39. It's got a herringbone wrap on it. Got a little ring at the end. It could have a dangle on it, but I just liked the ring. I think that the concept of a full circle is really meaningful. And like I said, I try to have, there's an intention when I'm making things. This one's 20. It's a really cool stone. Um, it's a black banded agate. I have a bunch of these stones in various sizes, and this is one of the smaller ones. I have some black ones, and then this one is J40. Um, it's another banded agate, and it's got like it's almost like a lace agate. Oh, there's a sticker that needs to come off. Okay, well, anyway, that's J40. It's also 20. And I don't know, they're just fun. They're big and chunky, and they look great on a, like a thick cord. That's an S hook bail again. So that one's J40. It's $20. And if you have something that you want me to show, like you want smaller earrings or bigger earrings, or you want to see something from the show the other night, because I haven't put a darn thing away. Okay, this is J18. This is another red pine jasper. The top and the bottom stones are both red pine jasper. That's J18. They're 20, and they have sterling silver ear wires. So you don't have to worry about, if you have allergies or anything. If you can wear sterling, then you can wear those. That's J18, 20. These are some stones I rescued. They're moss agates. J19, they're also 20. So moss agate, so green stones, green is a heart chakra color. Green and pink are both really good heart chakra stones. And these are all they're individual on a little head pin that is then hooked into a chain. So they kind of, they have some movement too. And it's more like a little cluster of stones. So that one's a J19, $20. Aren't they fun? I like these. They were rescued stones too. Let's see, did I already do these? I did a pair of these. I think I did, but we'll do them again. These are tiger eye. This is J44, and these are $30. They have gold-filled ear wires. These are really good for seeing what's beneath the surface, seeing what's hidden. It's also another protective stone. Most of our stones are protective energy in one way or another. Like if you think about rhodonite being a good stone for grief or heart healing, there's a black in it, and that's protecting a heart that's trying to open again. Here, copper with a wire wrap. Oh gosh, Peggy, I do not remember. I'm going to see if Taylor can look it up. I actually thought this pair was hanging there. Oh, there might have been a pair of zebra jasper. Let's see. Okay, Peggy, was it the green ones that were like a ball, or were they the copper ones that were wrapped? So, oh, the copper wire wrap. Yeah, I might have those in here. Let me see. Oh, here's a pair. Let me see. Oh my goodness, there's a bunch of great stuff in here. All right, I have a pair that's like those, but these might be bigger than the ones that were on there. I'm not sure. This is J20. I think this is that pair. Does that look like them, Taylor? Look like the same ones? I think it is. J24.
Yeah, that's them.
They're 30, but I would go 20 on those if you want them. I've had them a little while. I've had them a minute. I thought I had a smaller pair too. You know what I think is that I have a smaller pair waiting to be made. I've made the sheet part, and I haven't wrapped them yet. But you can see those were a little bit challenging. I was trying to do the same pattern in the reverse, and that was kind of crazy hard, but they were fun. I thought they turned out pretty good. So those are J24. Not the same. Yeah, I think they're very similar, but maybe not the same. I think those ones on the picture might have been a little smaller. Okay, there's J24. Okay, all right, Peggy, those are yours. And you got to remember, you got to write down the price that I told her because I forget. I forget already. Okay, here's some more really fun ones. I got some fun ones coming up. Let's do these first. This is Girasol quartz on the top, and this is magnesite on the bottom. And they have sterling silver ear wires. So they're really fun. They hang really fun. Now, these, they'll have movement, but they don't bend in the middle. They're kind of straight. They hang straight. But they are fun. I'll just make that look a little more symmetrical. J20. So Girasol quartz and magnesite. Magnesite's another good one for protection. Did I say the price? Oh, those are 15. And what was the number on those?
J20.
J20, they're 15. Okay, this is J22. And so these are some moss agate stones with a copper, a piece of copper behind them. Copper. This is a chainmail pattern, and I made all of those little jump rings. Like I wound each one of those up and cut them. Those are 45. But those are great stones, and really another grounding and protective stone, that orangish color, red orange. Red is a root chakra stone, but it is a moss agate, so that's also connection to nature. So to me, this is like a walk in the forest. This stone is like a walk in the forest. That's J22. I love those. Okay, here's another pair that, oh, I really love. Oh my goodness, I just dropped one of them. Let me put this one here while I retrieve the one that fell on the floor. These are red pine jasper with a carnelian, some brass, some copper. This is J21. They're really fun. They kind of hang. Here, let me switch views so you can see. There we are. They have a fun little sort of swing to them. And I think they look really pretty on. Sometimes I invite JoJo over to test earrings for me because I need to see how they look on. Aren't they fun, Pam? I love those. And I have such a good time making them. I have a really good time making them. Did I do these? I did those. Okay, here's a cute little pair. These are $15. The big bead on the bottom is Dalmatian jasper. Up above that is a garnet. And then the one on top they're a ceramic bead, but I had them and I thought they were pretty. So there you are. Dalmatian jasper, that's all about a balance between male and female. Okay,
J21.
Pam, J21 was the one before, and this one's J23. Let me just show that one. That one's J21. I love those. And this one's J23. So those are 15. But again, just a little something to remind you to keep your balance. And you've got one on either side of your head. It's like energy that's, if you've ever used harmonizer rods, you hold one in each hand. Okay, 21, we got that for you, Pam. For harmonizer rods, you hold one in each hand, and it creates like a current of energy. And so from your right hand, it would arc up above your head and then into the left hand. And then from the left hand, it arcs down below and up to the right. So that's what earrings do for us. You know, quartz and stones with quartz are amplifiers, and our other stones are harmonizers. Okay, these were just me having fun. They're just long, skinny copper. This was round wire at one time. It was a 16 gauge piece of round wire, and I hammered the heck out of that stuff. If you use a ball peen hammer, that's how you get this. You see that texture on there? Looks like little divots or little dents in it. You use a ball peen hammer for that. This is J25. They're 30. If you want them, I'll do 20 today. But I love these. They're really fun. I have another pair back there I'm working on, but I'm going to wrap some beads around those. Okay, here's a pair. J26. These are 30. So this is flame painted copper. So I cut out the copper, file it, sand it, then I take a torch and heat it up in different ways. And then I spray it with a sealer to keep that color on there. And then the bead is carnelian. Oh, Sherry. We have two Sherrys. We have Sherry Large and Sherry Hahn tonight. So I sent the fathers at our house downstairs. I made them some dinner and sent them downstairs. And Taylor and I are up here doing the fun stuff. I mean, eating is fun. I smoked some ribs. So, we did this. There's a method called the 3-2-1 method for ribs, and you smoke them for 3 hours, then you braise them for 2, and then you put the stuff on for 1 hour, barbecue sauce, and cook them for another hour. So they cook all day. J26. These are 30. And yeah, they're really fun to make because copper is a great metal. It's really versatile. It's soft. It's a lot easier to work with than silver. And then when you hammer it, it gets hard, so it doesn't bend. When you heat it, it gets soft again. So, yeah, it's a good Father's Day meal, Sherry. See, Barbara, Jackie thinks those would look pretty on you. I'm not sure which ones. I think she meant the long, skinny ones. Oh, these? This is J26. Anyway, 30. Those are fun ones. Okay, here's another. I have a good time with these stones. So this is a moss agate, and then some little copper disc shapes that I cut out. I hammer them first. I hammer them and then I put them in this thing. It's called a disc cutter. And it's a big piece of steel and it's got holes in it. And then in each hole there's a steel peg. And you put your sheet of metal in. It's like when you put your debit card into a credit card machine, right? You slide your sheet of metal in there, and then you put your, yeah, Barbara, if you want to relook at things, like at the end, we can just tell me the numbers, we can pull them back out. But you put your sheet of metal in there, then you put that peg in, and you bang it a few times with a hammer, and it cuts the disc out. So I do the texture first because if you texturize it before or after you cut it, then it misshapes the circle, which can also be cool. But for these, that's how I did it. And then there's moss agate, and those are cabochons that Yazid cut for me. And sometimes I'll say, "Can you drill a hole?" Yes, but it's going to cost you 50 cents. Oh, so this is J27. They're 45. J26.
Look at J26.
Here's J26. Here's J27 for you. That's J26. I like these. They're a little bit wonky, a little bit funky, but also super fun. They're just really fun. If I could make a living just on jewelry, and if I stuck to one thing, I probably could, but on my Pinterest board it says, Jill of all trades, master of some. Can you fix that one? It's kind of tangled up. Okay, these are 15. These are just cute little chunks of druzy on some, thank you, on some sterling silver. You know what? I could even do these for $10. They're just little druzy quartz. And they sparkle. There we go. They sparkle. And everybody needs to sparkle a little bit, right? In fact, I know some people who are kind of crabby and grumpy, and I think if they had something that sparkled, it might improve things a little bit. Pam, a lot of work. They are. These were not. These were fun. I apprenticed as a silversmith with a guy for about a year. And I had a blast, but right now I don't have a spot for my bench. Okay, this is J28. They're $20. And um, these are little banded carnelians, and they're on copper. I can close that jump ring up a little bit. And these are jump rings. I made all of these rings. All of this, everything on this card was a piece of wire at one time. So, you know, it is a little time consuming, but it's also very meditative and creative. And next month I'm going to Houston to visit a friend, and he's going to have surgery, but his spouse is going to take me to the bead district. I mean, there's a whole industrial area in Houston that is just beads and crystals, and it's my little slice of heaven. Okay, J28. Those are 20.
Grace's sparkle equals happy.
That's right. Sparkle is happy.
J26 sold to Barbara.
Okay. This is J30. These are moss agates. And just very simple. Moss agates on sterling silver wire. These are 40. I could go 30 on these though. J30. That's the center of that stone. It's clear but milky. See, it's translucent. I think we better do some more pendants. Do I have more pendants?
Those right there.
Okay.
There's 4.
J30. I do 30 on those. Those are really nice stones. And I'll tell you the secret of how you cut them exactly the same like this. Because I cut stones too, but again, you got to pick what you're going to do. But you cut your stone into slabs. So that means you got your rock and you slice it, and you make sure your slices are the same thickness. And there's a technique to do that. But then you take 2 slabs and you put a piece of paper between them and you super glue them together. Then you cut them out and you polish them. And then you put them in some acetone and you dissolve the glue and scrape the paper off. Johnny, I have not been to Canyo Beads in Kirtland. I'm intrigued because Monster Slayer closed and that was my happy place. Canyon. I have not seen it. Anyway, but that's how you make them so they're identical like that. Well, they're like mirror opposites. They're like bookends. But that's how you do it. That's J30. They're 40, but I'll go 30. So what's it close to? Johnny, how far is it from where Monster Slayer used to be? Bye, Pam. Because I'll head out there. Okay, here's a pair of little carnelians. J31. They're on gold-filled wires. They're 20 because it's gold, and I complain about silver. This week it was $66.09 an ounce, but gold is like 4,200 something an ounce, so whatever. It's all relative, I guess. Let's go, Sherry. I'm up for it. Take a little trip to Kirtland. J31. Now, again, so these are sacral chakra beads. all the creative energy. And the top bead is just a darker carnelian, and this is a lighter one. You know, and a lot of the color of the stone depends on the origin of the stone. And even within one rock, you may have part of it that's a much higher quality than in the other part of the rock. But you can see the one on the right has some banding going on. And then those are little flowers at the bottom. But on the other side of the road, it's by a car wash. Well, let's make a plan. Johnny, you and I and Sherry could head out there one day, check it out. I wonder if they've opened since Monster Slayer closed. Okay. Here we go. J31, $20. And then J32. So the last one's in my box over here. J32. This is Dalmatian jasper. So, and it's kind of a faceted cut. And it's got a little hematite bead at the top and the bottom. So hematite, that's one of our grounding and protective stones. It's iron. Hematite is iron, so also about strength. But this is also about balance. Kind of like a yin-yang thing. You've got black and white in the same stone. That's about balancing. So J32, those are 20. They're on sterling silver. Okay, I've got a few more. I miss Monster Slayer too. Oh my gosh. You guys, these are adorable. I know somebody needs one of these. It's a little pentagram on a pentagram. It's a labradorite star. These are the ones that I had on my show the other night. And I wrapped them up with some sterling wire. So got 5 of those. They're 23. If you're feeling a little witchy. And today is the solstice. Happy solstice to everybody. Yeah. This is a great one to wear on the full moon, on the new moon, on the solstice. Any of the, you know, the holidays of the craft. Okay, Peggy. All right. Yeah, we're about to wrap it up because we were running out of stuff.
So these two necklaces.
Oh, I do have a couple necklaces over here. Okay. This is J5. It's 25, and this is a girasol quartz. Girasol is an expensive form of quartz, but this came in that 7 kilos of cabochons that I got. So it's wrapped up in copper. What number is that one? Do you mean the star? What number is the star? Because the one that I just showed you was star number 4. And there are 5 of them. This one is number 4. This one is J5, but you may have been talking about something else. What did I show before that? I think the Dalmatian jasper. Yeah. Yeah, the star that I just showed, that was star number 4. I love these little guys. I don't think I've shown all of them. Here, let me show.
These are the last ones you haven't shown.
These are the ones that I haven't shown. So this is number 3. And I'll show you the other ones. This one is number 5. And this one is number 2. 4 for Barbara. There we go.
We have 1 and 3 if you want to show them.
Okay. Okay, this is a dendritic quartz. I've had it a while. It's marked $45. I would do it for $30. It's super cool. I love dendrites. I'm really a sucker for those. Okay, Sherry, sounds good. I'll get invoices out this evening. That's a dendritic quartz. It's on an S-hook bail. But I did this one a while ago. Get it in front of the camera. Johnny, thank you for that. They have to be new. I wonder if they bought out the rest of, because the last day that Monster Slayer was open, she told me that someone was going to buy everything that they had left. I wonder if that's them. There we are. That one is J10, and I will do 30 on that one. All right, I've got 2 more to show you guys, and then we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to eat some dinner. Okay, this is a smoky citrine. It's J42, and it's $25. But you see these are really nice. These are all from Brazil. I still have some. I still have a bunch. Well, not 15 pounds, but I have probably 50 or 60 left from that. And they haven't had cabochons in a while. J42. 25. It's funny when you have, okay, this is called a fascination piece, but when you have a bigger piece like this, it's called a fascination piece. And in the days when, which I mean, really, you could say it's still the same now, but there was a point in time. J26. She wants to see J26. There was a point in time when, it was not real safe to let people know you had healing abilities.
J26 was...
Barbara, which one is...
Barbara already got J26.
Oh, we thought you already got J26. Yeah. She wants to see it.
Okay.
And so they would wear large pendants called fascination pieces, and that was how healers and traditional people identified each other. Was with a big piece like that called a fascination piece. That wasn't early.
Yeah, we saw it. That's what she's asking, is if we saw that she wanted
it. Oh, that you wanted it. Yes. Yeah. Yes, we saw that. We had that set aside for you. Okay, I've got 2 necklaces, then we are done. Let's see how well I can do with these. This is a Masonite. And it has little brass spacers. Little brass spacers on there, and then it has an antique brass chain, a lobster claw clasp. It's marked at 50. We'll do it for 40, and I'm gonna just switch views so you can kind of see. Here, I'll just put it on. So it's about that size. I believe it's 18 inches. Could be a little longer. I don't know. but it's a really nice quality of amazonite. And then, so what did I say? 35? What did I say? I don't remember either. I have to look. Well, if you want to buy it, you can remind me what price I said. Okay, this one, this is a piece I love. It took me many, many hours to build this. It's a sterling silver chain. It has blue chalcedony. It has, let me fix that. It has shell, mother of pearl. It has little quartz crystals and little fairy bells. I love this piece. I've got it marked at $80. It needs to be sorted out a little bit, but there we go. I didn't really get it. It lays better than this. I think a couple of the beads are flipped over. But $80, yes, it needs to have a few of the beads flipped over. Yeah, it took me many hours. You can see each one is on a jump ring, and each one of those has been individually wrapped. Oh, that's over here. That's where that is. There. Each one is individually wrapped on a head pin. Some of them have little places where you could put another dangle on them if they needed another dangle. They've got some of these little Swarovski crystals. But it's all blue chalcedony, sterling silver, quartz, little silver bells. Very pretty. $80. Screaming deal. When I made this, I made another one that was, it was a sterling silver chain. It had smoky quartz crystals that hung down from it, and I ended up keeping that one because it just was my thing. Anyway, anything else you guys want to see? I'm looking at the comments just to see. Johnny and Sherry, I am up for the a trip to the bead store. So I'll email you guys and we'll see what, or Johnny, maybe you can email me your phone number. I don't know if I have it, or text me. I think I have your phone number. I will text you and Sherry. How about that? I'll text you guys and we'll see what we can do. Anyway, all right, last call. If you want to see anything else, now's the time to let me know. Still have plenty of things from the other night's sale. I know that some people couldn't make that. And I did that one on Facebook, so you're welcome to watch that one again and send me your order. It was funny because everybody wanted the same pieces. It was hilarious. I do still have a moss agate heart. Would you mind grabbing that? I have one moss agate heart left, and I'm going to show it to you because it is so, so pretty. It's a hot day here. Do you see it? The big moon? Oh, no.
The moon?
Yeah. Is it green? Yep. Yeah. Here we go. Taylor's going to bring this moss agate moon over because it's so pretty. Check that out. Isn't that gorgeous? And see, it's got a little druzy pocket right there. It's got a little druzy pocket right there. That one was A2 and it's $48, which I thought was a pretty good deal for that. Anyway, moss agate. Here's the other side. Really pretty one. All right, guys. You know how to get a hold of me. Facebook, text, email, website, whatever. Square. You can even respond to an old invoice if you need to get a hold of me. But that's gonna do it for tonight. It's 7:42 already. How'd that happen? Hour and 42 minutes. Time flies. All right, everybody, thank you so much. And this will be posted. If you want to watch it again, you can, or send me a text or whatever if there's something else you'd like to add.